Hi everyone, and welcome to Monday Night Stamping. This is the perfect place to be if you like to craft, if you like to chat, and if you like to discover some new paper crafting fun. So my name is Lillian of Stamper's Niche, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Alberta, Canada. But I know that there are people joining us from all over the world. So welcome from wherever you are. We, sounds like come out from wherever you are. That didn't come out quite right. But anyway, welcome and so glad you're watching either live or the replay. Yeah, super. And let me just see. Today is September the 4th. It's Labor Day here in North America, and so it's a holiday. So I am just curious, what did you do for Labor Day today? My husband and I were retired, so every day is kind of a holiday for us, and they kind of blend together. We tend to forget what day is what. But one of our grandsons slept over last night because he wanted to go fishing this morning. So Harry and he did some fishing, and then we spent just the morning together, so that was fun. And then a nice walk, and then we actually had some corn out of our garden, so we enjoyed the fruits of Harry's labor today. So share something that you did today if you want to. Otherwise, just share where you're watching from. And welcome to Monday Night Stamping. As some of you know, this started happening on Monday nights because it's the night that my husband likes to watch football. And so Monday Night Football is often on. It's just, I think, beginning. But in Canada, it's the Labor Day, or in Alberta, it's the Labor Day Classic. So maybe some of your husbands are watching that too. So let us know if you've got football fans in your house and if they're maybe watching the Labor Day Classic. So I'm just as happy to be here spending the evening with you as they're watching that. So first off, my paper share and my ribbons shares, the time to register for them is almost ended. So if you want to be part of that, or if you registered and haven't paid yet, you only have 1 day left. So be sure to take part in that if that's what you want to do. So that's just a little friendly reminder. Sorry, I am also sharing this post on as everybody can begin to order from the mini catalog. Demonstrators have been able to order for a month, which is one of the big bonuses of being a demonstrator. But you will all be able to start ordering from it beginning Wednesday, September the 6th. That's one of the things that's happening. Beginning that day, I'll be able to show you the inside of the catalog too. So that's always a big plus. So that is happening. Something else that is happening then is that there will be a new kit in the kits collection. And also Stampin' Up! Is releasing 5 other designer papers, ones that are not going to be in here or they're not in the regular catalog. They're going to be released on Wednesday, and they're pretty special. I just have to tell you that. So here's the blurb about it. It's a special release of designer paper, and you can see some of the designs here. There's some Christmas ones. This one here goes with a stamp set in here. You can see all kinds, but these two, the glitter paper, the silver and gold, I should go silver and gold, glitter paper is extra special because it's adhesive backed. Yes, you'll be able to peel the backing off and it'll be sticky. So to keep an eye out for more information about these special papers. So new catalog that you can order from, new papers, and there's going to be a new kit released on the online exclusives. So let me bring this paper in. I did this so that I could remember what was going on. So the September to December 2023 mini catalog is going live to customers. That means you can start to order from it. A new kit will be added to the kits collection, and you can always see that in the online exclusives, or you can go to my website right here and click on Shop Now, and then there'll be a little menu drops down and you can click on Kits there. And there's also going to be a special release of the new designer paper, and they will also be visible in the online exclusives. So I see some of you are pretty excited about that designer paper. That's excellent. It's pretty neat stuff. Okay, now I have something else I just want to thank you for. So thank you so much. Last week I shared this fun fold card using this new paper that's a sneak peek from that mini catalog. And so you keep losing the video, Linda. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. It's looking good from this end. I wonder if you refresh your screen. So in other words, go out and come back in, if it'll be more stable. I hope so. Anybody else having trouble with their video? I hope not. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about this card that we made last week. As you know, these Facebook Lives I upload onto YouTube, and the video for this card from last week has had well over 1,000 views. So people have been loving it just like you have. So that is largely thanks to you people for sharing and commenting and doing all those kinds of wonderful things. Both the sharing here and sharing on YouTube and giving the thumbs up and leaving a comment. All those things help my visibility, not my eyesight, but my people being able to see me. So thank you so much for that. All right. Tonight I've been giving you some little teasers about what I'm going to do. I am going to be using this in color because wild wheat. Now some of you love this wild wheat, and some of you are having trouble warming up to it. And I thought this is the perfect season of the year to be using that. So that's what I'm going to do. So since the new catalog came out, I have featured each of the new colors, the new in colors, pardon me. There's Pebbled Path, Moody Mauve, Copper Clay, Boho Blue, and this month I'm just doing a little kickoff with Wild Wheat. Now, this what I'm showing you right here is the In Color Luster paper, in case you've forgotten about it. It's gorgeous paper, and that's a fun paper. So I've also continuing my video series like last week, calling it You Asked For It, because last week's card, this one here, was one that you had asked for when I shared a whole bunch of cards. So I called the video Cards, Cards, Cards. And then I'm going to share another one tonight, another one that you asked for. So a big thank you to Karen Yeomans, who let me make this card in a shoebox swap, and I just love it. Yes, this is Copper Clay, but this was the card that has inspired tonight's card. So she used the In Color treat bags, and she stamped right on the bag, or she had us stamp right on the bag, I should say. And then the card was this fun fold. So it just has clean lines, lots of texture and stamping and interest. And then you open like this, and then like that, and you've got sort of the card within a card type of thing. So very similar to this in that it has a smaller flap that opens, but this one is done in a little bit different way. And so I just wanted to share this card with you. So this is in Copper Clay, but we're going to make it in Wild Wheat. And these treat bags as an envelope. Oh, Linda, yes. I never thought to use the treat bags as an envelope, but I did after Karen introduced us to it. So the first piece of paper that we're going to use is a piece of cardstock, Wild Wheat specifically, that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. So it's a half a sheet of cardstock. Now we're going to bring in our paper trimmer. And Stampin' Up's paper trimmer is so wonderful. So you're going to score it at 4 1/4. So I'm going to line it up at 4 1/4. But then I have this other little note here. you're going to cut down 3 inches. So you can score the whole thing, no problem. But what I love about Stampin' Up's paper trimmer is you can score, leave your paper there, and then come back and cut on the same line. Now we want to cut down to 3 inches. Now what I've done here is I'll show you after because I don't want to move my paper. But the paper trimmer cutter, and again, I'm going to lift this afterwards, has a little mark on the side. That shows where the blade is. And on here is a ruler. And I'm going to bring my cutting blade down to the 3-inch mark. Just like that. And that little line is lined up with the 3-inch mark. Just like that. And now I can take it out. Now I can show you. What I did is sometimes these measurements here were hard to see. And in my old paper trimmer, I put some white paper there. And for some reason, in this new one, it's taken me forever to do it. But what I did was I took some Terran tape, or double-sided tape, and I just ran it down here. So on the back side of where the numbers are. And for me, it just makes the numbers show up better. So that's just a little tip. If it helps you, you might find that helpful. Now, the other thing is, let me just see, can you see that little line on the edge of the blade or the scoring tool? That shows exactly where the blade is. So if you could see underneath, I'm not going to touch it because it's a bit sharp. That's where the blade is. So that's what I did when I only wanted to do a partial cut, and I wanted it at 3 inches. So there, I sidetracked a little bit in getting that ready for you, but it's always good info. I'm always learning new tips from other people, so maybe some of these tips will be good for you too. Now we want to cut down here. So we know that this is going to line up at the 3-inch mark again. So we'll put it at the 3-inch, put it down, and now this time I'm going to cut down to where I can see the cut or the scored line. So when it's lined up. And you can almost feel it go, oh, it's cut there. Now I'm going to lift it up. I didn't start it high enough. Well, we'll just fix that with our handy dandy paper snips, right? I was too busy talking and not paying attention to make sure my blade was all the way up. There we go. So this I'm going to use on another project sometime. I'm going to put it aside and I'm going to concentrate on this here. I'm going to fold it on the score line, and I'm going to bring in my bone folder and just burnish that fold so it's nice and sharp. So now we've got I think it's called a barn door fold when you've got it just halfway like that. So we've got that part done. We're also going to use a piece of basic white that's 4 by 5 1/4, and that's what we're going to put in here. So it's the liner, but you do definitely see it quite a bit. Then we are going to take a piece. Now you could make this wider if you wanted, but for this card, I'm using the piece that is 2 3/4 by 8 1/2, and I've scored it at 4 1/4. So it's scored in half. So let's just do that and use our bone folder again. And of course, that is going to make this little flap here. Then we've got 2 pieces of basic white that are 2 5/8 by 4 1/8. Now, if you don't like the 8ths, remember this was 2 3/4. Make this 2 1/2 by 4. You could do that too. It works out beautifully. And then we have got the wild wheat treat bag. So you're saying the treat bag, where do I find those treat bags that you're talking about, Lillian? Well, in the catalog, right on page 126. So opposite where all the specialty papers are. So on page 126, they're right here. And you get all 5 of the in colors. I just have my stored in a case here. So you get all 5 of the in colors. You get 5 of each color. So there's the boho blue, copper clay, pebbled path, and all of the different ones. So you can make these cards, have lots of fun with them. That's one of the things I love about Stampin' Up! Is how everything coordinates. Because look at, we've got wild wheat ribbon. We've got wild wheat embellishments. We have wild wheat twine. We have wild wheat, all kinds of things. And so that's one of the joys here. All right, let's start making our card. I was going to make tonight's card with a different stamp set, but I thought this is just too perfect, and I'm going to use this stamp set here. You also could just leave this piece here like that, and when you put this in, it would look perfectly fine. But what Karen did is she embossed that back piece, pardon me, just to add a little bit of interest. And she used the Basics 3D embossing folders. So Karen gave me permission to case her card and share it tonight, by the way. So this is just perfect. So we're going to do that. Take this out of the way. So we're going to put that down right now before we start stamping. Just add that. And I have a question for you. I'm about to start some classes with some ladies that have never stamped before. So what do you think would be one of the first things I should share with them or teach them? Or what are some of your ideas, I guess, is what I'm asking. All right. So now, while you're jotting that down, I'm going to do some stamping. I'm going to bring in a stamp from a stamp set I've used before. It's called Inked and Tiled. You've seen me do, I've even done a whole class on this. It is from the annual catalog as well. And it comes as a bundle with these great punches. Lovely, lovely set. I really like it. I've used it a lot, and I will use it a lot in the future, I'm sure. So right now, what I'm going to do, and I'm going to bring in some scrap paper just so I don't muck up too many things. I'm just going to stamp a background here. I'm using the leaf heat embossing. So, okay, I like that idea. Any other tips for what you would do with brand new stampers? Heat embossing is likely what got many of us hooked, right? There, so now I have stamped the background in wild wheat. Now this will lighten up a bit as it dries, but I really like the effect that creates. Now we're going to put that to the side. We're going to bring in one of the white pieces. Actually, I think I'll keep that paper for a minute. And we're going to bring in this great flower here. So we'll ink this up, and when it's a large stamp, I like to turn it over and just tap on this side. Speaking of tapping, when you work with new stampers, how do you teach them not to press too hard? That often, in fact, I was working with a new stamper the other day, and she said, "Do I have to press really hard?" And I said, "No, you don't." I'm getting sidetracked here. So before I do anything, I've stamped with this once. I'm going to bring it to the other piece of white paper and stamp one more time. So that's second generation. And I think I just saw somebody talk about second generation there. And this is going to be on the inside. So we've got it that far. So now let's assemble what we've got so far. We're going to bring in this sort of mini little card. This is going to go on the front. Now, if you like spatters, you could do some spattering right now, that kind of thing. But we're going to just glue it right down. And I just see my open ink pad. I should likely close that up. That would be one thing to teach everybody. Close up the ink pad when you're not using it. There we go. Practice on scrap paper. Yeah, that's a good idea too. Oh, I love the ideas you guys are presenting. Excellent. Here we go. So this is going to go on the inside of our sort of little mini card within a card. So what we've really created here is a mini card that's 2 3/4 by 4 1/4. So now we're going to fasten it onto here, and it's going to go like that. So basically, I'm just going to center it on here, and it's going to, again, just get glued down with your adhesive of choice. I love the multi-purpose glue just because it gives me some wiggle room. Plus I can, you know, get a little crazy in the middle and nobody knows the difference. There we go. So just center it there. Give it a moment to set. And we've got it like that. We just need to add some embellishments and we're done. I'm not adding any words because this could be for pretty much any occasion. But I'm going to bring in the wild wheat ribbon and just tie a knot. Sometimes it's if you're not into bows, sometimes a little knot does the trick. And let's see, let's go like this. And it's been a while since I made this card, so I forget how well it frays. Yes, it does fray, and we'll get this out of the way. So satisfying, as my granddaughter would say. So you get a totally different effect when you get that frayed look. So just keep pulling. You know how your mom always told you not to pull on that thread? Well, now we're telling you to pull on it, right? There we go. There, just like that. And I'm going to fasten it onto my card with a mini glue dot. So I just stick this into the mini glue dot. Fasten it down, and now I'm going to bring in some, need to work on my frayed pieces there. Some of them are taking on a life of their own. And bring in my embellishments. And we've got them in all colors. Well, I'll bring in this one because that one's nearly done. But you can see all colors of the in colors. And I find that these embellishments actually go with all kinds of our papers and colors that we have. And they aren't limited to the in colors. They play well with the other colors too. So I'm going to put, one here. And I see Karen is on here tonight. So big thank you, Karen, for this design. I fell in love with it, and I better not move that. There we go. So there is the card there, but I forgot to do one thing while I had my ink out. And a lot of you, I'm sure, are saying, Lillian, you forgot. So let's bring that flower stamp back in and the ink back in. We have got our envelope. And those of you who have your mini catalogs in front of you, have you noticed somebody took some of these treat bags and they took their blends pens and added like a red or green line? So they added to the plaid, and it looks really, really neat. So there we go. If you stamp right on the paper, you've sort of made it coordinate even more than just the color. And you can do that with a lot of designer papers. So there is tonight's card. Let's get some of these little tags out of the way. They're a little distracting because I've got more cards to show you. There is tonight's card. There is the same card done in copper clay. And now let's just see a few more. So I also did the same card in Misty Moonlight using the same stamp set. So you can see you can get a totally different look each time. You can change up your embossing folder. Now there isn't a Misty Moonlight with transparent florals and, translucent florals. And it comes as a bundle in the catalog. So it is absolutely gorgeous. Some of the stamps match up with the dies, and some of the dies stand alone, but it is a gorgeous bundle. And there's some of those designer papers that are going to be on the online exclusives actually coordinate with this paper here. So gorgeous. And then I decided, well, this stamp set is just so fun. Well, it's right in the name as well. So it's lots of fun. So I thought, I wonder. And so I made this one here with the giraffe. So, and some of that new Merry and Bright, I think it's called. And even put the little bird there. So those just show you that you can take one design, change it up by the color, change up the stamp sets and the color, and you will have all kinds of fun. So I hope that has inspired you. Before you go though, and for those of you who are not totally in love with the wild wheat, or maybe you are in love with the wild wheat, I have a couple of more. So here's one I shared earlier today, and I paired it with Blackberry Bliss right here. So I'm hoping that you like that. I really liked how that one turned out. Of course, the background here is the designer paper. It's called, it's the Daisy designer paper. Trying to remember it. The other one that I wanted to share was this one here. This is by Carmen Carnegie, and this is her favorite color combination right now. It is Pretty Peacock and Wild Wheat, and they do look so nice together. And so that designer paper from the In Color designer paper, and the timeless arrangements here, and again that embossing folder. So lots of ideas to get your brains percolating, and I would love if you'd share if you've using some of these ideas and they are working for you, whether it's using the wild wheat color or if it's using this design that we made tonight. I'd love for you to take a picture and share it in the comments. And a big thank you to Karen for sharing this card idea with us and for giving us permission to use it tonight. So stay tuned for Wednesday, September 6th, because lots is happening that day. Only a few more sleeps. Remember, if you're shopping from my online store, you'll find it here. And right now, the hostess code is this one right here. So Judy, you love the Christmas one? You know what? I'm not surprised. I can see that you would love that one. And I'm so glad you do, because I had a little bit of fun with that one, I have to admit. All right. Thank you, everybody.